Hello, everyone. Have you ever been in a situation where, even without a title or position, your words shape the outcome of a conversation? That's a form of power we often don't think about, especially as students, because I've come to realize that the kind of power we bring into communication affects how we're heard, how we collaborate, and how we resolve conflict. Today, I'm going to answer two questions. First, what types of power do I hold as a student? How do they influence communication? Second, have I worked with a difficult person? And what would I do differently based on what I've learned about communication and leadership? As a student, I found that I often rely on informational power, expert power, and referent power, all terms explained in Chapter 10 of our textbook on leadership and conflict management. These forms of power may not come with a title, but they shape how others listen and respond to me. For example, during a group project in a business communications course, I took the initiative to research our topic thoroughly. Because I brought helpful, reliable data to the group, I held informational power. That gave me influence without needing to tell anyone what to do. I also had expert power because I'd used presentation tools like Canva before. I ended up leading the creation of our visual materials, and the group looked to me for that technical guidance. And perhaps most important, I had referent power. Because I had built positive relationships in previous group work, people trusted me and listened. As Gallanes and Adams explain, these types of power are often used by transformational leaders, people who influence through example, not authority. That's the kind of leadership I try to practice, even in my class projects. Now, let's talk about a time when communication didn't go as well. During a summer internship, I worked on a team with someone who constantly interrupted me and rejected my input. I felt dismissed and frustrated because instead of speaking up, I shut down and I used passive communication, hoping to avoid conflict, but that only made it worse. If I could go back, I'd use assertive communication, which is about expressing your ideas clearly and respectfully. I could have said, I'd like to finish my point before we move on, rather than staying silent. I'd also apply active listening, which involves reflecting back what someone says so they feel heard. This can reduce defensiveness and open a more productive conversation. Finally, I'd use a collaborative conflict style, which, as Beebe and Ivy explained, focused on finding mutually beneficial solutions. It's not about winning, it's about working together. That's what would have made our dynamic more effective. Whether it's a classroom project or a professional setting, our power as communicators comes from more than authority. It comes from how we use knowledge, relationships, and empathy. By understanding concepts like referent power, assertive communication, and collaborative conflict, I've learned to be more mindful and confident communicator. These experiences and the leadership lessons behind them aren't just academic. They're shaping the kind of professional and teammate I'm becoming. Thank you.